Good afternoon, everyone. I have returned to see you all, and we do hope that you will find peace in listening to what I have to say in any of my talks that I give to you. And of course, yes, soon I will be coming to take your questions. But today is about peace. It is about quietening your mind and finding peace, because that is important in such a time that your world is in seemingly great turmoil. And sometimes that turmoil can have an effect on one's energy and one's self. If you present yourself with, I would say, embroiling yourself in the middle of it all, although there are such people that have come to the earth to sort things out, so to speak. But at this testing time in your world, we are very close to you. And we shall remain close to you. We shall never desert you. Whatever anyone says, we will not desert you. As your guides, as your helpers, as your loved ones, the spirit world will not desert you, and nor will the universe, which is part of that existence. So when you get a little troubled mind, go to the positive. Although you may say, well, surely that's just pretending to be happy and not, or you may say, well, that's pretending that nothing is happening when it is. But if it wasn't, would you embroil yourself in negativity every day? Would you want to do that? Would you think of doing it? Would you make it a habit? Put yourself in the middle of the positive. Learn from the negative, but give yourself more of the positive. Dance to some wonderful music. If you are feeling a little down, put happy music on and dance to it, and you will feel a lot better, I guarantee you. Although it may only be a temporary measure, but if the more you give yourself that, the better you're going to feel, because it has an effect on the energy. If you turn sad music on, you're going to feel sad. If you turn happy music on, you're going to feel happy. You see how energy affects your mind, how it affects your outlook on life, how if you argue with each other, you feel angry, and you feel that your energy is all tight. How if you be happy together and smile together, how good you feel, and what a wonderful day that you have had, and you can look back on it with great memories. That's how you want to feel, isn't it? Stop begrudging yourself of that, will you please? Don't begrudge yourself of happiness. You have every right to be happy. Every right. You have every right to be loved. You have every right to be appreciated. You have every right to have your own thoughts and your own opinions in this life, and to be loved by our world and to be able to connect with our world should you choose to. We are from a place that you may see as a fantasism, but it is real. It is not fantasy. It's absolutely real. When you pass and go to that world, you become more alive and more positive than you've ever been, more free. You are like a butterfly that has been released from its cocoon and that is gloriously colorful. There are no limitations. There is no judgment of that nature. Having said that, you do see everything that you have done in your life, and you do see how much hurt you may have given people, but you all do it. You all judge at some point in your life. You all have arguments in your life. You all have sad times, happy times, whatever you have. You all go through it. Name me a person that has not bickered with somebody at some point of their lives and felt bad about it. So don't waste your time arguing over silly things. Give yourself time to be happy and to be together. You will perhaps learn from your negative days to bring yourself to more positive days where you are agreeing with one another and you are loving one another. Just because you shout at each other sometimes, it does not mean to say that you don't love each other. You do. But you would say that you require peace in your life. And you would say, well, I cannot still my mind because I am always worrying about something. I am always giving my mind something to think about that doesn't seem to be positive. I worry if that person is going to go, or I worry about some money. Your world is a very troubled place with that at the moment. We understand, we see, we know. But what will come out of it will be greater than. Because when you have all gone through this testing time, which is part of the worldly awakening, a lot of you would think that the worldly spiritual awakening is about singing, dancing, and all being happy and such, but it is also about the truth. It is about the truth that shall arise within you and everyone and everything and every situation. And it shall all surface, you see, because if you're going to have an individual awakening, then you're going to feel it. All of your fears will surface and you will try to overcome them and maybe will overcome them. And you will experience different things in dream states and all sorts of things. You will see numbers, you will see signs, synchronicities, all sorts of things start happening in the spiritual awakening, which I might add are very fascinating, and you'll become inquisitive about that. But the one thing that will surface is your fears and your truths within you. And whether or not you want to face them, you're going to need to face them when you've got a huge earthly awakening. So that means all of you are faced with your fears, and most of them are emotional fears that you have held on to and you don't even understand why. Why do not I not easily let them go? Why do I hold on to them? Am I fearing them? Am I fearing that I might be wrong and I may be judged? Am I going to be scorned for it, hated for it? Every person has something to let go of in this life. Even if you think you have nothing to let go of, there is always something. It is not that we want you to have it, we don't. We are not here to prove a point of the fact that you may have something that you want to let go of, but it is part of the spiritual awakening. So that means when it's happening all over the world, that means all of the truths, all of the fears have to come out. It leaves you with quite an aggressive time, and it leaves you with quite a testing time, and it also leaves you with a time when you are shocked to see the truth will be revealed here, there, and everywhere. So it's up to you whether or not you want to face it, turn away from it. But try not to embroil yourself in it because it brings you down. You don't want to be brought down. You want to know the truth, yes, but you don't want to be brought down. You want a positive day. So feed yourself with that positive so that when those negatives are shown to you, you can cope with it. You can know that you're going to be absolutely fine, that you're going to get through anything. You tell yourself, I am strong. I will get through anything in this life. I have heaven on my side. I have God on my side. Now, God is just a name, you see. Giver of divine love is what I prefer to call it, really. But in my lifetime, I was religious, and I call God God. Something that you worship, you see. But you are all a piece of that. You are all an essence of that. Each and every one of you have a part of that within you, whether you behave like you have or you don't. You turn away from it, or you face it and love it and enjoy it and be part of it. It is entirely up to you. Now, in our world, we don't have any religion. You see, we don't have culturalism. We are all as one in consciousness. We come together as one in unified love. But we will never condemn your religion, and we will never condemn you. If you have been having cultural beliefs in this life, whatever you wish to believe in, we will still love you. We will not damn you at all. We are here for you, whatever you believe in. We love you forever. You are truly loved. So you would say, well, there is an existence of Jesus. Yes, there is. He is real. He is real. But you see, he's not about religiousness. He is about love. Religion is beautiful in some ways and testing, and I would say in some ways creating disarray or discord. So if you go past that and you see the love, the light, and the truth, then you will see that your Jesus, Yeshua, is just a being of spirituality and unconditional love beyond human comprehension, and that he loves you forever. There is never a time where he hasn't loved you. So he is not here to judge you. It's you that is judging you, you see? You. Because you are the one that needs to look to the light. You are the one that needs to get things right in life. You are the ones that need to believe in something. You are the ones that need to find something. Well, it's already inside of you because you're part of it. You are part of that essence. You're part of the great being. You are part of the universe. You are a little speck, but an important speck in a mass of everything that exists. And they're all specks of it too. So if you were to put all of that together, think what you would get. Even a tree is a speck of a soul, of a part of an existence of everything that is all about life. Everything. There is nothing that isn't. And you are part of that. That makes up the all. Heaven is part of what makes up the all of everything. And you could never, ever cram it all into your mind because you would not have enough brain space to fathom it out. The greatness of it, the gloriousness of it, the absolute of it, the vastness of everything in existence, that you couldn't possibly gather all of the information of all of it because it would go on for eternity. And so you go on for eternity. You cannot die. You physically die with your body, but your soul is immortal. It cannot possibly die. It cannot possibly be stolen. So if someone says to you, well, I will take your soul, which is probably highly unlikely, but if they are that bad, I will take your soul, they cannot. It's impossible. You see? And if you say, well, you have done bad, the devil will take your soul, the devil cannot take your soul. Only you could agree to something that, oh, if you wanted to stay there with something evil, you would. But if you wanted to turn to any light, you would. Everything is your human choice, your soul's choice. So you will come home to our world and we will love you. And we will be happy to see you. And you will dwell with us for eternity until such times that you wish to come back here again. And most of you would say, well, I'm not coming back here, Jonathan. I've had enough of it. But 9 times out of 10 you do. Because there are things that you didn't deal with in this life and that you come back to make it better. But then you would say, well, if we're not perfect in this life and we're going to keep coming back, surely we'll keep coming back forever until the world ends, wouldn't we? Would you? Not necessarily. When you've truly had enough and you truly feel that you have found you yourself, you cannot be perfection in human form. You're already perfection. Your soul is perfection. It's how you behave in life as to how often you will come back. So if you do terrible atrocities, you'll just keep coming back until you get it right. And then when you eventually become spiritual and have that wisdom that there is another world that you can connect to and you're going to use it to help people, then maybe you will think about staying at home next time round and not coming back here. You see, that's how it works. It's a soul's choice. But if they've done terrible atrocities, it is highly likely that they will keep coming back to this world. Because they will have to see, when they get to the other side, they will say, well, surely those people will go to hell, Jonathan. If they've done terrible murders, terrible things, killed thousands of people, they will have to feel everybody's feelings that they've hurt. And imagine how hellish that could be. How long it could go on for. They're stuck in their own hell because they have created it. They created it, not your God. They created their own hell because they did it to everybody, and then they had to face all in one bunch, all of the hurt and all of the evil that they'd done, and how they had affected all of these millions of people that were left behind to deal with it all. Or how they had made those other souls that had passed over suffer so badly, they had to also experience their hell too. So that could go on forever, couldn't it? And then they will keep coming back until they become a better person, you see. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So they created their own hell because they did terrible things. So they would have to learn and keep coming back and having similarities of some sort of experience that would make them feel like it. Their soul would give it to them, you see. They come from the lower realms back here and learn and learn and learn over and over again. And then eventually the soul would say, well, that's it. I'm going to become a better person in this life. I am spiritually connected, finally. I understand the love of spirit. I understand that we go on. I want to be a better person. I will aim to become a better person. I will be spiritually having abilities, and I will give them to people to help them, you see. You become a better person, then eventually you have no need to reincarnate. You'll stay in the heavens, perhaps like myself, you will become a guide. Or you will stay in such the higher realms, like a moth to the light, and embroil yourself in light and love. So there is the truth and more. I could go on forever, but of course your earthly time is passing by, and we understand that you think that time is passing quicker. Well, when that happens, the earth is changing. So I want you to know about your global warming. It is not to say that it is right to go around putting your rubbish everywhere and putting all your fumes everywhere. That doesn't particularly help the air quality. It's the air quality and everything else that surrounds it that you're making bad for yourself, you see. That's what it is, the air quality. And of course the quality of your water that you drink. But when it comes to the earth, and when it is freezing or too hot, that's the Earth's natural process. It's been like it for millions and millions of years. Millions of years. Uncountable years. Sometimes your world becomes quite a hot place. Sometimes it may become a cold place. You see, if you were to have a pole shift, you would all know about it. Well, who's to say that the Earth will not choose to have a pole shift? You see, the Earth has a soul. You see it as just a piece of old rock with a few plants upon it. It's not that. It has absolute, beautiful life in it. It has a soul. And when it wants to change, just like yourselves, you say, well, had enough of this place, I'm going to change, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to go higher. So does the earth. The earth is never going to stay the same. Sometimes the earth will break apart, and it'll cause an earthquake because it wants to shift a piece of land to some other place, you see. And it'll keep happening until it does. Sometimes it'll do it subtly, and then sometimes it will absolutely split the land apart, and then countries will be apart from each other, you see. That's how it happens. That's how it's always happened, always will do. And it may be quiet for several years, and then all of a sudden it'll have a surge. After many millions of years, it'll have a surge. And then the earth starts to shift. And everybody knows about it. And they think, well, the earth, the world is going to end. Seas have risen, seas have subsided, land has broken apart and joined together for millions of years and will continue to do so. But it does not stop to think about you little people here. It wants to change, and nothing is going to stop it, no matter what you do. So you can have all of your little electric cars and all that. That's all very nice. That'll just save the fumes that ruin the air quality. You can throw your rubbish everywhere. That'll just make the place look a mess, and all it'll do is disturb the little wild creatures and make them suffer. And they're what keep your world functioning. Do you realize they all have their place in the world? They all have their purpose in the world, right down to a little plant, right down to a little ant. They all have a purpose. So think about that before you throw your rubbish everywhere, because they can get trapped in it. And then they suffer, and you don't. You see? So that's mainly what that situation is about. And pollution, you see? It's not going to make everything nice for you to live in your world like that. So it's air quality, and which goes up must come down. So what I will say to you is, when it rains, that's bad quality because you've ruined the air quality. So what I'm saying to you is earthquakes, water rising, the earth is having a surge. I will tell you that. Now, that is the truth. I will give you the truth if you want the truth. The earth is drastically changing itself, and the way that it spins on its axis has moved very, very, a fraction faster than what it normally does. So that makes you think that time is speeding up. If you want the truth, that is what it is. You see, we know from our side exactly how that earth of yours works. It's very complex, and the scientists may know more on your earth than what you do, but you see, what they've got to understand is that the earth is always going to move, to change, and to function differently after millions of years. So get that into your minds. But do clear up your rubbish and save your fumes, because your lungs suffer from it. So the earth is going to carry on regardless of what you do. If it wanted to tear open the land tomorrow, it would. You're not going to stop it. Nothing man can do to stop a woman or child. You've still got to continue living with the existence of the earth's movement and surges, which it will have. So I will leave that with you on that conversation. But know that our world is with yours. And also with the spiritual awakening, I will remind you that the veil is thinning, and we are ever closer to you in the way of connecting with our world, and us to you, you to us. What I would say is, do it in the right way, do it in the light. Become the light, you are the light. Be the light, give the light, and give yourself positivity as much as you can in times of tribulation, as you may call it, times of change. The world is not going to end. It is only mankind that will end if they try to kill themselves off with their wars and their troubles. That'll be how it ends if you're going to want it to end that way. So try and get along. Truth and justice shall go all over your world like never before. It's all happening at once. And in that time, the earth will change itself. So it may seem as if it's all happening together, but it will change itself no matter what else is going on the earth. Doesn't matter. It's not going to stop for anyone. So you better get used to it, because that is how it's going to be. And then it may remain quiet for a few million years. By that time, you will be on the other side and have reincarnated maybe several times. So don't say I'm not going to be here, because you may come back down here. So I am not here to lecture you in any way or to tell you off in any way. I am here to love you, but I am also here to give you the truth. And you are going to need to face it all, every one of you. Whether it comes out of you or whether it comes out of higher places, doesn't matter where it is, it will come with great gusto. I suggest that as often as you can, find peace of mind, find joy in your lives, because that is what will give you a quality of life. I will leave that with you all, and God bless you.